Creepball. When you call us, the terror begins. Creepball. Real life ghosts and zombies talk to you. Dial 1-900-490-CREEP. That's 1-900-490-CREEP. Randomly selected callers get connected to me live. Hurry up. We're waiting for you, pigeon. If you're under 18, make sure your parents know you're calling. Just $2 per call.
The last round of
Listening to a ZTO TV podcast. You can find all our shows on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcast entertainment simply by searching ZTO TV. Thanks for listening, and don't forget to rate and review because it really helps us out.
Welcome to the Last Round Up Horror Show. I am Frank, and this is Jason. And we are back with a lazy-ass episode because we watched one of the 8 movies we planned on watching this month. But it's Thanksgiving time. It's the holidays and stuff.
Got busy.
Yeah.
Got real busy all of a sudden.
Got busy. It's the holidays. Fuck. Yeah, speaking of holidays, did you probably didn't go to the Kenton Parade tonight, did you?
No.
Tell you what, man. Fucking terrible.
The Thanksgiving parade?
They light the courthouse, and they have a big-ass fucking Christmas parade.
Yeah.
Listen, man, if you're an adult person, and you go to a parade as an adult to enjoy a parade, I think you should probably move out of the way if there are children. But literally, most of the people there were adult people, and my kids couldn't see shit. So we had to basically put them in front of everybody in the road.
This is something you do every year.
Oh, my wife likes to do it, yeah. But it keeps getting longer and longer. So, but Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Thanksgiving, and all that. I thought we would talk, since we only did one review, I thought we'd talk about what our top reviews are on Facebook right now. Like, I put out the standalone videos. These are the top 10.
Top most viewed.
From 10 to 1. These are what people are enjoying. Hell Baby.
This is number 10.
Number 10. Let's see what you guys thought about Hell Baby. I didn't write a summary down, so I'll just tell you what this is. This is a comedy, Rosemary's Baby. There's other homages throughout, and it was written by the...
It's homage, right?
Yeah, it is.
Like,
yeah,
it's homage.
Can we be serious for a second?
It is homage.
It's homage.
I've been bullshitting
homage.
You guys. Gotcha. Anyways, this is written by the guys that did Reno 911.
You might even people might even actually pronounce the H sometimes. I think you can say homage as well. The one thing it is not
is homage.
It's homage. It's not what Pauly Shore would call going home after munching on some grindage. It's son-in-law. I'm gonna munch on some grindage after I get some homage.
Number 9 is Microwave Massacre. Microwave Massacre from 1983. A little summary here. Fed up with his wife's bad cooking, Donald kills her and turns to cannibalism to satisfy his appetite. Directed by Wayne Berwick. No other credits of note as far as I'm concerned. I looked at his IMDb and I just don't give a shit about anything that's happening.
There might be a reason he never did anything again.
A very valid reason.
And also the writers, Thomas Singer and Craig Muckler. No other credits you need to worry about as far as I'm concerned. Though there is a credit highlight here. The guy that plays Donald, Jackie Vernon, is the fucking voice of Frosty the Snowman, ladies and gentlemen. And it's gonna fucking blow your mind when you hear him have sex later on in the film.
How the mighty have fallen.
Number 8 is Exorcist 3. My favorite scene is the fish story. There's an extended story he tells about this. What is it? A goldfish?
A carp.
A carp going up and down, back and forth.
His mother-in-law likes to cook carp, but you gotta cook it. She's gotta clean it of impurities, so she leaves it in the bath water.
Yeah.
Now, I suppose you have all sorts of rosary biz and the like.
No. This is a goose. Maybe you should go home and rest.
I can't go home.
Why?
The carp.
You know, I thought you'd see.
My wife's mother is visiting, Father. And Tuesday night she's cooking us a carp. It's a tasty fish. I have nothing against it. But because it's supposedly filled with impurities, she buys it live. And for 3 days it's been swimming up and down in my bathtub. Up and down. And I hate it. I can't stand the sight of it. Moving its gills. Now you're standing very close to me, Father. Have you noticed? Yes. I haven't had a bath for 3 days. I can't go home until the carp is asleep. Because if I see it swimming, I'll kill it.
That's what I remembered most from this, because I remember you were the first person that showed me this movie.
I love this movie.
And that is the one fucking thing I remember laughing so hard about.
Number 7 is It from 2017.
Overly scary clowns defeat the purpose of making it a clown to me. I don't know. It's like skulls with mean faces.
It's like a hat on a hat.
Like if you're a clown and you're going to kill some people, especially kids, you're dressed like a clown to like lure the kids in. So when you have like the exaggeratedly scary clown, I'm immediately like the Georgie scene in this one. I'm like, fuck no. No kid in the world walks up to that fucking clown in the sewer and is like, yeah, I'm going to reach inside. You see that clown in the sewer and you're like, fuck you, dude. You are a fucking weirdo. I mean, think about...
I would love that. That'd just be the end of the movie.
Like, think about the fucking...
Everyone lives.
Remember the scary clowns stalking the streets?
Yeah.
And people were worried about it? Why were they worried about it? Because they were scary clowns.
But we're not talking about reality, though, Jared.
Yeah,
we're talking about a movie. And I don't think he... I don't think he laid it on too thick.
Yeah, I mean, his voice is very... Like, he's almost
Yoda. Think about a cartoon clown and what they would really a clown voice would sound like.
That's what my
I mean,
problem
most of them don't
was.
talk to begin with. So think about
that's
what a clown would sound like.
You said it though, a cartoon clown. That's my problem. He's a evil cartoon clown.
Number 6 is The Hills Run Red. That's a weird one. I think
underrated.
A group of young horror fans go searching for a film that mysteriously vanished years ago, but instead find that the demented killer from the movie is real, and he's thrilled to meet fans who will die gruesomely for his art. Written by David J. Shaw, who wrote The Texas Chainsaw Massacre 3, Critters 3, and 4, and an upcoming movie called Splatterpunk that I'm gonna be looking into that.
Did not know he wrote Chainsaw.
Yeah.
4? You said
3.
4 or 3?
Leatherface. 3? And also written by John Dombrow, who mostly wrote video games, it seems, most notably Mass Effect 3 and some of the Bioshock games. Directed by Dave Parker, who directed The Dead Hate the Living, that classic.
Hey-yo. Same director? He stepped up.
Yeah.
Man. This is a big time compared to that one.
Number 5 is Frankenfish. I think a lot of people probably, like me, forgot that they've watched it. and like, is this the movie I've seen?
And I was thinking, they're sitting there drinking these Coronas, and I'm thinking to myself, what is the fucking process of getting a 12-pack of clinking ass beers?
Anything.
Yeah.
They live out in the swamp.
Fridge.
I don't think get anything out there.
There's four shitty houseboats.
Well, I guess the one has a motor. Or you just drive. I don't know. I've never experienced that.
Why would you decide to live here?
Just drive it into the nearest town with the dock.
You would not have clinking ass beer bottles. You would be getting the whatever. Never mind.
No, this movie's bad. Bad dialogue. Bad acting. It's boring. Like, it was really hard for me to pay attention to this movie.
Number 3, Return of the Living Dead Part 3.
The main character is this kid who's the son of a general or whatever at this military base.
And always getting in trouble. This kid don't stay out of trouble.
He is a 90s He's a 90s rabble-rouser.
Yeah.
Is what he is. He's got the hair.
He's like the brother of the guy from Boy Meets World. But
He's Edward Furlong Light.
Yeah, there you go.
From Terminator 2.
Pet Cemetery 2.
All sorts of sequels.
But his girlfriend's real hot to trot for fucking science experiments. So, so that's why she's like, "Ew, you got the card," and then she fucking licks the card. She's all about the science experiments.
I don't think it's the science experiments, but I think she's just a just a rebel.
You got the card? Oh yeah.
And she licks it.
Bad girls in the 90s loved top secret science.
And number 2, Mountain of the Cannibal God. That's also one of the most popular videos on our YouTube channel. And the autopsy of Jane Doe.
I forgot all about that movie.
Yeah.
Not anymore.
Yeah. Well, that's the first film we watched that had bestiality in it.
First time, I'll tell you what. First time I've ever seen a woman insert her finger into her vagina in a non-pornographic movie. Also, first time I've ever seen a representation of bestiality.
Yeah, I was really surprised when she started fingering herself. Until 5 seconds later, they go straight to a guy lifting up the tail of a pig, just going to town on it. Like, that's raised the bar a bit.
And then they cut a dick off right after that.
Yeah, like the first, what is it? It's an hour. Say an hour and 40 minutes. And the first hour and 15 of this movie, I swear to God, it's just them walking through a jungle.
Yeah. Arguing.
Climbing on rocks. And then all of this happens in the last 25 minutes of the movie. Like, it just goes bananas. It just goes to another.
They're like, these people are actually eating live lizards. You can see these things moving around when they're biting them and shit.
But the number 1, Autopsy of Jane Doe, of course, the old sycamore.
The atmosphere was great in this movie.
The sycamore.
I love it.
The old sycamore.
I loved it all. I love the old house. The basement was obviously the morgue or
you really
that part
loved
of it. And I really the old sycamore.
Just so everybody gets the joke, Jason skipped back to the old sycamore falling like 4 times.
But it was because he
thought it wasn't deliberate. I thought
the
guy said something wrong, and I wanted to hear that part again.
You thought he said line instead of landline.
Yeah, that's
the line man. He's the line man.
I think that's an excuse. I think you just really liked
it. Just always ended up on that.
And we were always
saying the old sycamore fell. It's the old sycamore. Like, we just kept hearing that over and over, and then we kept missing the part that we
taken care of that thing years ago.
Yeah. But yeah, no, all the way through, I thought this was a really good one.
But yeah, that's what people are enjoying on our page. They thought I asked people, if you're in the group, cooperate, do something. Fucking A, man. I asked, what are some of your favorite moments, which leads me to believe none of you have watched the fucking show or don't like it. Maybe that's it. Since Jared left, nobody likes it anymore, I don't think. We lost James Ray. He's completely gone. I don't even see his posts anymore. Maybe he blocked me. But
don't do this for them.
No, but I like to have interaction.
No. I was telling my kids are going to get to see this.
Right.
So they're going to get a really badass movie collection, and then now they're going to hear what I thought of those movies.
There you go.
Always.
It'll live on forever. But Casey did mention he enjoyed the Mr. Longfingers song from Subspecies.
Here comes Mr. Longfingers, right? Yeah. I'm coming and I'm creeping with my long fingers.
Yes. Come on, you got some info on this first?
Yeah, let's give the information.
I just get so excited when I think about those long, creepy fingers.
Yeah, long nails too. Like, it's really long.
Yeah, we're gonna have to break down the science of those.
That was good.
A couple of my favorite moments from our show. The argument you had with Casey about the burning was great. That's solid gold. If you haven't seen that, check here. I'll put a clip in. Boom.
There's like 3 or 4 movies that kind of they alternate with being my favorite movie. this is one of them. This is one of the best slashers ever made. I give it a 10.
I hated it.
I
didn't like it at all.
What?
Oh god. There were things about it I liked. I want to go through the things about it that I liked. The special effects, when they came, they looked good. I really liked the fact that Cropsy had a headquarters.
What?
A headquarters, as I call it. Because I feel like I love
that term. Oh, this is Cropsy headquarters.
I feel like I've seen a lot of movies
cabin?
where there's a killer spooking around in the woods. So people are in a tent, they come out, the killer kills him, goes back to the woods. You don't really know what he's doing out there. Maybe he's sleeping in a bush. Right. Nobody knows, but he had like a roof over his head to stay and to plan.
It's nice to know that he had a place to go.
So things look good. That skull in the beginning looked amazing. The skull candle that they first burned Cropsy with. I think that was the coolest looking thing in the movie. That's where it drops off for me.
See, we got a youth perspective here.
It definitely has to be a generation gap because
definitely no, it's not. It's not about generation, but I am aware that
something is wrong with you.
No, nothing's wrong with me.
You take one of the greatest slashers ever made, like just.
I can understand
almost unanimous.
The way that it just the way
I've
that
given
it
this a lot of thought. No one's gonna like me after I say this. No one at all.
Well, nobody's gonna.
But okay, so like I took it in chronological order. There's the skull candle that burns Cropsy. You see Cropsy get burned, and he runs to the creek or whatever and extinguishes himself. He's in the hospital for a while, and he gets out and he kills a prostitute, stabs her in the stomach. That all had to happen within like 5 minutes of the movie. I checked the time between that shit and the next kill, and it was like at the 49-minute mark.
There is a lot
of
like
45 minutes of kids just talking about.
Like I said, it don't pick up to the third act, but
I was annoyed.
If you don't have fun with this cast, I don't know.
I wasn't. I did not have fun. I was annoyed.
As far as slashers go, this is by far one of the best casts out there.
Jason Alexander, fuck him. I don't care. I was annoyed with every single person in this movie.
He's off. He's never coming. This guy's never coming back on the show again.
It was 45 minutes of kids talking about titty magazines.
That's
and
what an 80s
lubricated
slasher
condoms.
is.
I read somewhere online a review that said if you didn't fall in love with this in the 80s in junior high, you might not appreciate it.
Maybe it's
something with that. I feel like
you said it earlier though. You said you thought that Summer of '84 was going to be an '80s kind of, like this kind of movie. And like, do you just not like if a movie looks or feels too '80s, you're like, ugh?
No, absolutely not. I can go further back than '80s. I'm totally fine with that. I felt like the pacing was wrong. I found myself yawning and looking at the clock after 45 minutes of the first intro thing. Like, when is something going to happen? Like, I get if you like it. If you like the titty magazine, the lubricated condom, like, backstory for 45 minutes, but I like 50 minutes in, I was looking at it like, when is something going to happen? Like, it's been a while.
Summer camp movie, I mean, fuck. You know, this is how much I like summer camp movies.
I'm not into them.
When they walk out in the morning, when she goes to take a shower, and she has her towel, and she's just walking out to the showers, I took note of the fucking birds, hearing the birds chirping. And what a good feeling. This makes you feel like absolutely like you're there at a summer camp. Like, this is Camp Slashers.
See,
is my
I didn't spend much time at summer camp. I got sick. I went home.
That's not about
this guy over here has spent a lot of time in summer camps in the 80s.
No, it's not
in
about
the
that.
movies.
All right, but
it's the whole setting.
The thing I'm trying to make
that's
is
what I like.
The first three things happening within the 5 minutes of the movie. Maybe it's almost near 49 and a half, maybe 50-minute mark.
Yeah, everything you're saying, I get, but you haven't told me yet why it's a terrible movie.
And then the first kill that you see after the 45...
You get that before
the first kill that you see after the 45-minute wait, as I think it's the dude who's out in the creek, and he calls his girlfriend out. They touch a little bit, and she's like, I don't want to do this. He's like, get the fuck out of my
None
face.
of them want to do it.
Yeah, so she leaves, but the kill that you see after...
It's going to be real good, baby. I promise.
Yeah.
Real good.
After 50 minutes of waiting for the next kill, it looks like they dip the shears in, like, Caro syrup and just drag it across her throat. For that to be the first kill that I saw after 50 minutes of waiting was not impressive. But there is what they call an infamous kill.
Holy smokes.
Where they're looking for the lost kayaks or canoes or whatever. and like 5 or 6 kids get massacred, and that looked cool, man. Like they cut off the fingers, and his fingers flop like little cocktail sausages. That looked cool. I think he drives his shears through somebody's head. Like the special effects looked great. I still think the skull candle was the best looking thing that I saw. It probably looked better than Cropsy himself. I wasn't impressed with the way Cropsy
they could have made Cropsy look, especially with Savini. I was surprised that Cropsy wasn't.
I don't know, man. I went in with
a little bit more detailed. I mean, the candle for sure was better looking than Cropsy.
It had maggots and like worms.
Who
and
made
shit
that
in its
candle?
Mouth. Tom Savini did. It looked great. I want to find a replica, but I hated this movie. Like, I want to get memorabilia from this movie, even though I fucking hated it. Like,
Tom, what are you doing in there? I'm making a candle. It's great.
Look at this. This is gonna be the highlight of the movie.
Is that Cropsy? No, it's a candle.
I don't know.
It's gonna be the beginning of the movie.
It would be so funny if that was the thing he was the most proud of. If he was like, guys, check it out. And they're like, what is that, Tom?
The candle maker.
This is what they're going to light on fire, and it's going to catch Cropsy on fire. Okay, well, yeah. Well, wait, make sure it's centered in the camera. We want it to be. We want that. I'm working on the other shit, but
even like the prostitute being stabbed in the stomach, like I just felt underwhelmed. It looked silicone. It looked fake.
You know, maybe he's onto something. Maybe he spent too much time on the candle.
I didn't like it.
What did you give it, though, out of 10?
I'm going to give it a 4. I just did not like it.
Despite what this guy said, this is The Burning is a approved movie.
He's using that badge.
Again, if
think about it.
If you like slashers, you like camp slashers, this is one of the best made.
Think about it, though.
If you haven't seen The Burning yet, be sure to check it out.
I want you to picture this. I'm at a 4. If I go lower, I'm at a 3, 2, 1, and 0. There's
I'm disappointed.
4 grades lower I could have gone. I'm about halfway up the scale. It's
He's
not
almost
terrible.
Some people don't like it, and some people won't even give it a chance because they think it's a Friday the 13th ripoff.
I went into it with a totally open mind, and man, it just bored me.
Throw a steak up there, Frank.
Make it sizzle. See, it was great. But I also loved how we fucking made fun of a dark song in that angel.
We're talking about the angel at the end of the movie. We completely jumped to the end of the movie.
It is jarring.
We'll come back around.
It is so jarring. You have to talk about it first.
It's the only thing I had a problem with.
But
it's all I hear people talk about. Anyone that mentions it,
I've heard a few people
straight to the ending.
I've heard a few people for how slow burn and how dark and psychological it was. I've heard a few people upset that it's a redemptive end.
Another slow burn.
Yeah, that shouldn't have happened either. It might as well have been Daffy Duck though that they stuck in there because it fucking was so jarring.
I liked the redemptive ending.
None of that bothered me.
I liked it. I think it was the best to come to because it was the least expected.
I would have been happy if they would have just had her Groundhog Day it every day of her life. Same thing. She tries to leave in the day, walks out into the country, can't get anywhere, ends up back at the house.
Yeah,
and then at the night, she gets terrorized by demons. I'm fine with that. I gave it a 1. So that's where I'm at.
You gave this movie a 1?
I would have given it a 10 if they would have fucking... Like I said, juggler, man. Yeah, you're a great... America's Got Talent, man. Boom, gone. Out. If you drop the balls when you're juggling, you're off of America's Got Talent.
Okay.
So goodbye. If you're gonna fucking slow burn me for how long? An hour and 40 minutes? Good golly, Miss Molly.
Hour 40.
Because there was 30 minutes left, and I'm like, some shit has to happen now, right? And that's when shit did start happening.
It's bad. It's bad, but
and that's a continuing joke. Then you've got your did a good job. What was that? What's his name?
Martin Freeman.
Martin Freeman did a good job.
He did.
Yeah, And then another one of my favorite moments was when making you guys watch Kuso. Just hearing your reactions to it.
Yeah,
it was good. But I asked you if you wanted to put together some of your worst viewing experiences during this podcast experiment. So, what do you got?
Yeah, worst movies that we've reviewed. Like I've seen some movies that we haven't that would definitely be on this list. But yeah, so I got 10 to 1. 10 being Beyond the Black Rainbow.
That's on my list too.
It was just it's just not my thing. Like I like the colors. I ain't gonna go into it. Number 9, Frankenfish.
Oh, yeah.
8 slashers.
Sorry about that. But that did have one of the best moments when you and Jared got in that argument about finances.
On the budget. And I was right.
You were right.
Go figure. Where am I at? Number 7, Meatball Machine.
Oh, wow. I like that one. I mean...
6, Hectic Knife. 5, 5, Easter Sunday.
Yeah, that's on my list.
Recent one. Number 4, Cute Little Buggers.
That's on my list. That's number 1 with a bullet.
Number 3, Kuso.
Yeah, I could see it. I like that one.
Number 2, Microwave Massacre.
Nah, I like that one too.
And number 1. I don't think I'll ever see a worse movie than this.
The Oregonian?
The Oregonian. At number 1.
Yeah, that's on my list too.
Has been for
2
years now.
Mine aren't really in any specific order because I only had 5, and then you said you did 10, and I was like, well, I can surely come up with 10 that I didn't really enjoy. My top 5 that I had originally are Cute Little Buggers, The Witch. Fuck that movie. Fuck that movie. Fuck it. And
I get it. I get it.
You know what? Fuck his next movie too, because that looks like a depressing whatever that lighthouse is, or is that what it is?
Yeah.
Fuck that. That looks depressing as shit.
Yeah, it's not your thing, but it's good.
Beyond the Black Rainbow, of course. Oregonian. I got Blood Harvest on here, unfortunately. Easter Sunday, the Easter Bunny Bloodbath, also. Or is that what it was called? All 3 of the Easter movies we watched last Easter.
I forgot about that one.
I actually put a Dark Song on here just because of that fucking angel. And Night Train to Terror. And I had One Dark Night on here because I did not like that.
One Dark... Oh, come on.
Those last 5, I was coming up with them outside of my... off my top of my head, so... But, yeah. We watched a lot of movies. We've had a lot of experiences. Almost 200 movies we've watched.
Yeah, I think when I was scrolling through it, I saw 170 something.
Yeah, we're up there. Let's add another one to the list. Let's go to 1993. I was 9, I believe. No, I was 10. 11. I was 11. 1993. You were probably 12.
12.
Yeah. I didn't see this until I was an adult, though. I don't think. Jared showed it to me. Summary for this movie. A group of troubled teens are led by social workers on a California wilderness retreat, not knowing that the woods they are camping in have become infested by mutated blood-sucking ticks. Directed by Tony Randell, who did Hellbound, Hellraiser 2, and Amityville 1992, It's About Time. Have you ever seen that? That sounds really bad.
I haven't.
Written by Brent V. Friedman, who did Prehysteria 2, Prehysteria 3. I don't know if you remember that movie called Pet Shop that was on. It was a full moon movie for kids. It was about aliens, VHS rental. He did Mortal Kombat Annihilation, the movie Food Fight.
Nothing good. He's done nothing good.
He wrote Halo 4. That's a weird credit. There was I never usually mention the producers, but this executive producer, do you know who it was?
Nope.
Brian Usna.
Oh,
Pronounce it correctly.
I did know that.
Yeah.
Heard it.
Get a few cast highlights here. Seth Green, Alfonso Ribeiro, Peter Scolari. You might remember him from Bosom Buddies or the Honey, I Shrunk the Kids TV show. Clint Howard and his father, Rance Howard. What do you have? Any...
tagline, it's not nice to mess with nature. Distributed by Republic Pictures, and this was out through all the films on Blu-ray and DVD, but both are out of print. The Blu-ray is like $150.
What?
And the DVD is like people trying to sell it for $80.
Well, here's a tip. It's free on YouTube if you really want it. It's also on... I watched it on Amazon Prime.
VHS is there. Going for about $30.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, so...
Wow.
Where was it?
I watched it on Amazon Prime.
I think that's where I watched it.
A little trivia. Seth Green talks about this movie on David Letterman from 1999. I'm assuming this is the only mention of it that's ever been made on TV. But they make fun of it, and I'm going to play a little clip so we can check that out, and we'll be right back.
Ticks is a movie that I did. It's one of those things. It seemed like a really good idea at the time, and the guy who directed Hellraiser 2 was directing it, so it could have been like a horrific monster movie, and we just all stopped taking it seriously.
Yeah.
You know, midway
But it
through,
was supposed to be a serious film.
It was. My character.
A serious treatment of ticks, the menace of ticks.
Well, you know, the idea was there were these mutated wood ticks, and we were
Right.
like a summer camp expedition. But my character was agoraphobic and had been beaten as a child, and I was like, ooh, background, history, yeah, I can do something with this. And midway through, I was just like, ooh, let's be silly. So, but everybody did. We all had dialogue like, ticks do not get that big. Right.
And we're right back. I think that Clint Howard, of course, steals the show. I think
he's the highlight.
He's the highlight of the movie. Also, though, Panic is probably the best character that Alfonso Ribeiro has ever played. I don't care how big of a Carlton fan you are. Panic is the dude. Seth Green's always fun, I think, and I like Peter Scolari in this. He made me laugh a couple times with the way he acts as this character. I don't really know. They pick up these kids, they take them in the woods, they stop somewhere like a rest stop or something, and Panic gets into their bags.
Yeah, he does.
He just gets into people's shit, and he takes.
Well, you know why, right?
What was he looking for? No. Oh, I get it. You know why.
I mean, it's
pretty obvious.
He's from the street. He's a hood.
Yeah,
right?
He's a street tough.
A hood.
But he gets in there and he steals the one dude's steroids. I don't know what his initial plans were for those. He was going to sell them or get high on them? Or what?
Alfonso's?
Yeah. Because he ends up taking them whenever he gets attacked to evidently...
I guess it's just to bulk up.
But that has one of my favorite lines in any movie. He pulls out a string of condoms. He's like, "Oh, party hats!" I love it. I say that anytime I see condoms anywhere. It's just part of. There's a lot of things that I say from this movie. I'm infested. I use that sometimes. You know, when I've got something going on. Whatever. There's just little shit, but yeah, they call me Panic because I never do. It's a good line. There's a lot of good lines in this. This has a lot of great things going on in this movie. You got troubled teens. They're taking them to the fucking campgrounds. There's a crazy big giant insects. There's a lot of things I like. There's guys growing weed. They're violent people. Which the one dude, the main guy, the head, what are they, sharecroppers?
Sure.
He was supposed to be played by David Gale. Do you know who he is?
No.
The guy that gets his head cut off in Reanimator. That was. And I was like, they kind of filled that role just right because he evidently died before they made this movie, but he was the one they initially planned on having. But these guys come up and they start. Was it them or the police? They talk to Peter Scolari and about dope. There's dope being grown around here, and he goes, "What kind of dope?" I laughed out loud. What else would it be? What, cocaine?
Right? Well, yeah. It has a couple meanings, not to me.
I'm growing meth out here. But that made me laugh. It also made me laugh whenever Peter Scolari, they light a fire with gasoline, the kids do, and Peter Scolari runs out and kicks dirt all over it real fast. If you haven't watched this yet, you're planning on it, keep an eye out. The way he acts is fucking goofy as hell. I wish I would have counted how many times Panic says he should have brought a piece. It's probably like 12. And also, I wonder why Alfonso never won a fucking award for the scene where his dog dies.
Yeah.
That is a touching scene. I mean, he's really putting the work in.
Brutus, he was scratching, and then he wouldn't move. I said, Brutus. And he didn't know who I was. He didn't know who I was. I said, Brutus. And he wouldn't move. He wouldn't move. Brutus.
What are you gonna do? Look, I don't belong here, man. Shit, why, Brutus, man, huh?
I should have never brought my dog to this fucking nightmare. Damn! See, I figured it'd be me who would get in a drive-by shooting, but my fucking dog would be okay.
I think it's hilarious that Seth Green's backstory is the reason he's a troubled teen is his dad got drunk and left him in the woods for 2 days when he was a kid, and now his dad thinks the way to solve this trauma is to fucking get out of the truck. Get out of the damn truck.
Just dive right in.
Get back in there. They're really putting a lot of serious themes in this movie, which had me thinking, like, what are you doing, Tix? Your name is Tix. And there's a girl that says a line. They're walking through the woods going fishing, these two girls. And she says, she hasn't said shit all movie. And then she goes,
after I was raped, I just had nothing to say. After I was raped, I just had nothing to say. After I was raped, I just had nothing to say.
I was shocked. I did not. I've seen this movie like 3 times, at least prior to this. Never once remember that. It just shocked me. They throw a couple F-bombs down in this movie when they're racially beating up Panic.
Tell me, young man, do you like me?
Say, yes, sir, I'm a faggot.
Yes, sir, you're a faggot!
The sharecroppers. That's a crazy scene that I forgot about. Other than that, the ticks look great. There's great gore effects whenever he pulls one out of his leg or something and it's seeping. It's really gross. I had to explain the reality of ticks to my daughter because she walked in the room when I was watching
I watched this with my kids. Or my two.
She goes, Dad, are ticks real? And I said, yeah, but they're like little teeny things. She's like, no, I don't want them to be real. And I was like, oh, fuck, what have I done? She probably shouldn't have seen it, but I didn't think it was that bad. I don't know. I did a little research on ticks because I think all the eggs in this movie are attached to something. They're like on a tree or whatever. I'm like, that doesn't seem right. What happens when a tick lays eggs is it has to feed until it's like enormous. And then it falls off the animal, and wherever it lays, it just lays those eggs, and then it dies.
That's it.
It certainly would not have any strength to climb up a tree and lay one egg, and they lay 1,500. So it's like they would have a real serious tick problem if this, this was mirroring reality. The movie would be rather boring and uneventful if these were actual ticks. It does take 3 days for a tick to be able to lay eggs, so it would have to feed.
That's great. That's great.
I'm just saying.
Great info.
A little FYI. The best special effects scene in the movie is Panic's body horror scene where a giant tick explodes out of him. It looked good. It wasn't Tom Savini, but it was very good for whatever budget they had. I love this movie. Every time I rewatch it, I enjoy it just as much as I ever have. Zero diminishing returns. I think it's paced appropriately. It's fun. And aside from clothing styles, it's not really outdated, really. The clothing styles, the hairstyles.
Boy, I don't know.
I think the effects look good. I give it a 10. I really like this a lot.
Yeah, I guess you did. Creature feature. It's got good practical effects. The ticks look good. The ticks actually surprised me. If I've seen this movie before, I remember nothing going into it. So yeah, that surprised me. It has a little gore to it. I like the setting. You got a cabin, campground. It's got a little bit of atmosphere going on. Clint Howard is the best part about this movie. His character is great. Just so people just like to really talk this movie up, at least in my circle of people that I know. It's really not that good of a movie. I mean, technically, this ain't that really that good. I've been
watching it for since Jared showed it to me. I've at least watched it 2 or 3 times with him, and then on my own. I just like it a lot. I don't know.
With someone, yep.
It's just a good. It's like To me, I watched this around the same time I watched Texas 2 for the first time, and it has the same sort of feelings to me.
Well,
I
don't have
that. It's like a rental, back in the rental days.
I can see it getting better on a second viewing now that now I know what the movie really is, not going by what people always say. It's a good movie, but people enjoy it more than what they probably should. It's like
Ice Cream Man or something.
Yeah, everyone has those movies. It's not as bad as movies like Troll, but Troll shouldn't get the likes. Technically, it's not that. It's not a good movie.
See, and that's one that I'm not big on. A lot of people love it, but
Bad Taste is another one that comes to mind.
Yeah, I love
really
Bad
not
Taste.
a good movie, but people
it's a 10 for me. I think I don't remember what we get.
I don't remember.
I think I gave it like a 9 or a 10.
I really could have done without Alfonso, Carlton, whatever his name is. Like,
he's so good.
Well, okay, but he's Carlton in my head, and him trying to act tough, and I'm from sticking a knife or whatever. It's just like I can't. Like, it's so beyond goofy to me.
He says, "What's he saying?"
But then they'll try.
I thought I would die in a drive-by, but my dog would be all right, man.
They do that. They get like really dramatic in this movie all of a sudden. Like, this is you're a B movie creature feature. It's over the top goofy. Then all of a sudden you want to put in like these Hallmark movie moments. Like,
that's the part that I really like, because I think that the filmmaker was like, well, yeah, of course it's a fucking serious movie. But everybody's like, dude, it's called fucking Ticks.
Right. and another thing, like you said, like, you were wondering where the ticks were. Like, I was the same way. Like, we were 45 minutes in this movie. Like, where?
Yeah.
Like, I thought this was going to be like
there would be if it was mirroring reality, they would all die.
Well,
also, none of the ticks were really doing what ticks do, which is feed and get really fucking fat and big, and they should have had some of that shit. There was zero big fat pussed up ticks.
It could be a lot better. This movie could be a lot better. Remake this movie. But yeah, it tries to be serious at times. It really, for the first half of the movie, I thought was slow. I thought it was boring. Like, I don't care about Alfonso and his stories. I don't care about these kids bringing the ticks. I think it's middle of the road. I give it a 5.
Hey, man, I understand.
I can do that.
It's just, yeah, you're right.
I'll own this movie probably when it's not $150.
Yeah, that's crazy. Jared's got a VHS of it, I think.
Yeah, I looked at them on eBay. They're about $30 for a tape.
That's crazy. My VCR just shitted out on me, man.
It's on Amazon Prime.
Yeah, just watch it on there. It's a good version. It seems like some stuff might have been cut out from a different version that I saw, but who knows? I don't know. Have you watched anything else cool recently? Did you watch the Creep Show?
Oh, on Shudder?
Yeah.
Yeah.
All of them?
Yeah. It ended real quick. I thought there was going to be a lot more of them, but
I haven't checked it out yet. If they're all up there, I will watch it.
They are.
I just hated how they fucking delved them out one at a time. What the fuck are you doing? Give it all. Everybody just wants to watch it.
It is true, because actually after week 2, I kind of forgot about it. And then when I finally remembered it, I go back and there's 2 more weeks. Like, I forgot about the show for 2 weeks. It's okay. It seemed like there's 2 episodes on each,
right?
Or 2 stories on each episode. It seemed like one would be borderline good, it was just okay, and then the other one was just like, what? It's not that good at all.
It's hard for anthology shows to figure it out. I think they've had so many of them. I'm sure I'll like at least. I've heard just the people involved. I'm looking forward to see what the fuck is going on.
With what?
With their episodes. It's all different directors and shit. And different.
We're still talking.
Yeah, Tom Savini does one, right?
I don't know.
Oh, you didn't look into who?
No, I don't know. I just watched them.
I know. I saw some of the writers and stuff.
I think I would catch a glimpse of a name here and there during the credits or whatever. But
I think that when you have, because they should have at least stuck to, I think, a special effects team. because a director and stuff. But if you're having wildly different special effects in each, was that what it was?
I don't.
Because who's the dude that did American Werewolf? Special effects. Nick. Does that sound right?
We were just talking about it.
I don't know. We have to get Palmer in on that because he knows all those dudes.
He's the one that I think he's the one that put up a video that he was on with
Rick Baker. Is that something? Is that
like that?
Is that who it was?
Something like that.
I don't know. Anyways,
what about him?
I think he was one of the people mentioned. The only name I can remember is. I can't even fucking remember it. Good. Good. That's an episode, you know?
So horrible.
That's an episode. We're going to do Krampus next time. Do you want to try to do 2?
Yeah, we can do 2.
What's the second
Like,
one?
I know for sure I want to watch Silent Night, Deadly Night.
Okay, let's do that one. Because I don't want to jump to 2. I can't even remember 1 very well. So I've probably only seen that once or twice. If that. But have a happy Thanksgiving.
Is it Krampus or is it Krampus?
Krampus. We'll figure it out. I haven't watched mine yet. I tried to watch it.
Well, see, the lady in the movie when she
British.
says it, yeah, well, she's something. She's not British, but when she says it, she says Krampus, but she has an accent. So, are you saying?
I think Krampus is more.
Yeah, I don't like that. I think it's Krampus.
Yeah, Krampus. Krampus.
See?
Yeah,
feel
it
that?
does sound better.
You feel it?
But we'll check those movies out, and we'll be back next month sometime. Hopefully before Christmas. You know.
Yeah.
When the leaves of summer turn red and gold, and the football games bring a hint of the cold, time to get away. We'll pack the car with escape in mind, forgetting about classes, leaving books behind. Time to get away. Empty cottage sitting on the shore. Tourists all left about a month before, and we're gonna have a good time. Gonna have a good time. Yeah, we're gonna have a good time. We're going on now. A ball break, walking hand in hand in the moonlight. We'll be the sweets all day. I swear we'll never part. We're going on now. A ball break, running in the sand, feeling alright. And when you fall into my arms, I'll break into your heart.